Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a crucial topic for all car enthusiasts and DIY mechanics out there. How to start your old car engine, even if it's been sitting for a while. We've all been there. You go out to your garage, excited to take that classic car for a spin, only to be met with the dreaded clicking sound of a dead battery, or worse, the gut-wrenching silence of a completely unresponsive engine. But don't worry. I'm here to give you 5 essential tips that'll help you bring that old engine roaring back to life. With a little bit of know-how and some elbow grease, you'll be cruising down the road in no time. So, let's get started. First things first, we got to talk about the fuel system. You see, that old gas sitting in the tank for months, even years, it turns into a nasty varnish that can clog up your fuel lines and carburetor. We're talking gummed up fuel injectors, clogged fuel filters, the whole 9 yards. It's like trying to run a marathon after chugging down a gallon of molasses. Now, if you're lucky and the old gas hasn't completely turned to gunk, you might be able to get away with adding some fuel system cleaner. But let's be real, if that car's been sitting for a while, chances are you're better off just draining the old gas completely. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Siphon out that old gas, dispose of it properly, and refill your tank with some fresh, clean fuel. Your engine will thank you for it. And hey, while you're at it, take a good look at your fuel lines. Any cracks, leaks, or signs of wear and tear? If so, replace them. Remember, a healthy fuel system is the lifeblood of your engine, so don't skimp on this crucial step. Alright, now that we've got the fuel situation sorted out, let's move on to the heart of your engine's firepower, the ignition system. This is what gives your engine that spark of life, literally. First up, the spark plugs. These little guys are responsible for igniting the air-fuel mixture in your cylinders. So if they're worn out, fouled or improperly gapped, your engine ain't going nowhere. Pull them out, give them a good inspection, and if they're looking worse for wear, replace them. While you're at it, check the spark plug wires too. Any cracks, burns or damage? Replace them as well. Next, let's talk about the distributor cap and rotor. These guys distribute the electricity from the ignition coil to the spark plugs in the right order. Over time, they can wear down, crack or get coated in grime, which can weaken your spark. So, take a peek under the distributor cap, inspect the rotor, and if you see any signs of wear and tear, replace them. Remember, a strong, consistent spark is crucial for starting your engine, especially an old one that's been sitting for a while. Alright, we've got the fuel pumping and the spark sparking. Now let's make sure your engine doesn't overheat and turn into a molten mess. That's where the cooling system comes in. First off, check your radiator. It's that big honeycomb-looking thing at the front of your engine bay. Make sure it's not leaking any coolant and that the fins are clean and free of debris. If it's clogged up with dirt and bugs, it won't be able to do its job of cooling down the engine. Next, pop open the hood and locate your coolant reservoir. It's usually a translucent plastic tank with markings for the minimum and maximum coolant levels. Check the coolant level and make sure it's topped off to the proper level. Now, here's a little trick: squeeze the upper radiator hose. It should feel firm, not squishy. If it feels squishy, you might have air trapped in the system, which can lead to overheating. And finally, take a look at the coolant itself. Is it clear and bright green, or is it a murky brown sludge? If it's the latter, you've got a problem. That means your coolant is old and contaminated, and it's time for a flush and refill. Alright, let's talk about lubrication. You see, your engine is full of moving metal parts, and those parts need a good layer of oil to prevent them from grinding against each other and turning your engine into a smouldering heap of metal. First things first, check your oil level. Locate your engine's dipstick, usually a brightly coloured handle sticking out of the engine block. Pull it out, wipe it clean with a rag, reinsert it all the way, and then pull it out again. The oil level should be between the two marks on the dipstick. If it's low, top it off with the correct type and weight of oil for your engine. But wait, there's more. Don't just check the oil level, check the oil condition too. Fresh oil is typically a light honey colour, while old, contaminated oil will be dark and gritty. If your oil looks like it's been through a blender with a bag of gravel, it's time for an oil change. And while you're at it, replace the oil filter too. It's a small price to pay for the peace of mind knowing your engine is properly lubricated. Now, let's talk about the electrical system, the nervous system of your car. Even if everything else is in tip-top shape, if your electrical system is shot, your engine ain't going nowhere. First and foremost, the battery. This big guy is responsible for providing the initial jolt of electricity to get your starter motor cranking. Make sure your battery is fully charged. You can test this with a multimeter or by checking the voltage at the battery terminals. If it's low, you'll need to charge it up or jump-start it from another vehicle. While you're at it, take a look at the battery terminals and cables. Are they clean and tight, or are they covered in corrosion? Corrosion can prevent the flow of electricity, so clean them up with a wire brush and a baking soda solution. Next up, the alternator. This crucial component charges the battery while the engine is running. If your alternator is faulty, your battery won't stay charged and you'll be stranded with a dead battery sooner or later. And finally, let's not forget the starter motor. This guy is responsible for actually cranking your engine over and getting it started. If you hear a clicking sound when you turn the key, but the engine doesn't crank, it could be a sign of a failing starter motor. So there you have it, folks. 5 essential tips to help you start your old car engine. Remember, a little bit of preventative maintenance goes a long way in keeping your classic car running smoothly for years to come. Don't let those old engines sit idle. Get out there and give them the TLC they deserve. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more car maintenance tips and tricks. And remember, if you're ever unsure about working on your car, don't hesitate to take it to a trusted mechanic. See you in the next video.